We've already seen that in Python we can test to see if a statement is true or false. Now these are comparative statements that we can get Python to do. So we've done that by doing things like, let's do a quick test. Equals, so I've created a variable, I've called it test, and in there I'm going to put the result of a comparative statement. So maybe 5 is greater than 10. Now if I press enter, the result of that statement is now stored in test. So if I print test, it will tell us that that is indeed false. And if I do test equals 5 is less than 10, this time the result of that test will be true. So let's just check test. There we are. Now we can use this knowledge to enable our programs to do something slightly different. So far, all our programs have gone one statement to the next statement. They've been linear. They've gone from the start to the next instruction, to the next instruction, to the next instruction, to the next instruction, to the end. But sometimes we want our programs to be able to do different things. So for example, have a look at this flow diagram. You'll see that the flow diagram has a start here, and it works its way down through the instructions. Okay, so it starts, it says, outputs, do you like chocolate? And it's going to wait for their input, and it's going to put whatever they type into the answer. So someone might type yes, or they might type no. Then we get to this little diamond here, and it's going to do a little comparison. It's going to look at their answer and see if it says yes. Now, if it says yes, then the answer to that comparative statement is true. If they've put anything different, anything other than yes, the answer to that comparative statement is false. So using this little decision box, we can decide whether to go down this path and output, chocolate is yummy, or to go down this path and say, maybe you prefer Mimes. Once it's done that, it then comes back together. You can see here, follow the arrow down, it comes back together, outputs end of program, and then goes to the very end of the program. So at this point, a decision is made. It selects which path to follow based on the answer to this comparative statement. And the key word we're looking at here is if. If this statement is true, go this way. If this statement is false, go this way and follow a different path. So how do we do that in Python? Well, Python has a statement called if. Let's write it in lowercase, if. And you can see the word has turned orange to show that this is a key word. This is one of our programming statements, an important word in our Python language. And then we can do our little test. We can write our condition. I could say 5 is less than 10. And if that's true, it will do whatever comes next in a little list. Now, to show that what comes next is a list, I use first of all a colon, and then I press enter, and you'll notice that there is an indent. This indent is really important. It shows that this is part of the list for that follows this semicolon. So I could say print, let's do 5 is less than 10, because that was true. Okay, and then I could add some more things to my list of instructions of what to do if it was true. But actually I don't want to. I want to do now the path to follow if it was false. So I'm just going to press delete, and it gets rid of that indent, and then I can write else and start a new list with the colon of what to do if that's false. So I'm going to press enter, Again, we get the indent, and this time I'm going to write print not true. Now, in this statement, it will never do that. Let's just press enter now and press enter. And it says 5 is less than 10 because this bit was true, so it did this. It completely ignored this bit because this bit was not true. Okay? So this if statement is followed by a little comparative test, just like we've done before. If this is true, then it does this, else it does this. And notice the gap, and notice the use of the colon. So let's have a look at our chocolate program from before. So in this program, we start off by saying print, do you like chocolate? So that will come up in the shell, and then it will wait for us to type in our answer to that question. So again, we could write yes or we could write no. That answer gets stored in that variable answer. What we type in gets stored as a string in that answer, and then comes the selection statement. And it says if their answer is equal to yes, so in other words they've typed yes, then, so there's the colon saying then, do this little list, so notice the indent, print chocolate is yummy, else, so if it's false, so they've not typed yes, then it will say print maybe you prefer Moems. And then finally, once it's done this bit, it joins back together, and it doesn't matter whether it was true or false, it will do this last bit, it will end the program. So let's run the program and see how that happens. So run module, and do you like chocolate? Let's say yes. It says chocolate is yummy, and the program ends. Let's run it again. Do you like chocolate? No. Maybe you prefer Moems. So we're seeing the two different paths that the program can take. It selects this path or this path depending on the answer to this comparison. And then at the end, it joins back up again once it's finished the selection statement. Now, a thing to be aware, it's only if we type yes does it do this first bit. If I type anything else, then it does this else bit. So let's run and just see that in action. So if I write, do you like chocolate, and I answer cheese, which doesn't make any sense, he goes, oh, maybe you prefer Moems, because I didn't write yes. Now, the other thing to just be aware of, it is case sensitive. So it's looking for lowercase yes. So if I type yes in capitals, because I really like chocolate, I'm very excited, and I type yes and I press enter, it still does the else part of the program because it was looking for lowercase yes. Just to be absolutely clear, it's only looking for yes in lowercase. So if I add anything else, so do I like chocolate? Yes in lowercase, but add a few exclamation marks because once again I really like chocolate. But if I press enter, it still thinks I don't like chocolate because it's not intelligent, it's not clever. It doesn't go, oh, you typed yes and they're just exclamation marks because you're excited. It is looking for those exact 3 ASCII text characters in that order. So anything different, and it does the else part. It says this is false. So have a go at writing your own if, then, else programming statements.